like to introduce you because you're new to our team.
Can you speak louder?
Hi.
Our group is called Engineering Seeds of Peace. I'm Maria Paula, Alejandra, Maraf, and Danny. So,
Okay.
and I'm Jorge. Well, peace is a 5-letter word that makes a big change in our lives. Peace means for us support, relationships, order, sustainability. So we want to face the problem that how engineering can help the world to get peace.
Okay, so the dove is the international symbol of peace, but now we're adding the engineer's helmet, and our project is engineering seeds of peace. So our mission is clear. Our mission is to break barriers between conflicting sides around the world through collaborative, project-based education, engineering that benefits both sides and hence promotes peace.
Pretty ambitious, right? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Yes. And
So, for example, we have a problem. We have two people living in both sides of a conflict area, but they don't know each other, but they have a problem in common. That is water supply. So they are in conflict.
I don't know you. You're so strange.
they are bad people, okay? Don't look at them. Yes, okay.
You're so
They
strange.
are bad people.
And what we want to do, we want to put them together to work in a project where they can fix that problem. They want to work together to solve that problem. And finally, they will get.
We have to work together? No way.
No, I don't want to work with you.
Yeah, we're gonna solve the problem together.
I don't think we'll do that.
We're gonna work together.
Okay, let's go.
And in the end, they will have water supply.
Oh, that's a great idea! Wow! Yeah!
They are not bad, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like it.
Okay, so the question is, isn't it already being done? And the answer is very simple, no. There are similar but different projects. There's Engineers Without Borders, which have educational value and they do engineering, but they do not promote peace, they do not make people come together from both sides of the conflict. And there's Seeds of Peace, which is a program that is meant to solve, to bring people closer, but it has nothing to do with engineering nor education. So the highlights of our program are: both sides get to know each other, a project that benefits both communities, you receive fun engineering education, you earn academic credits, and you get to know industry experts and get guidance from them, which is a big opportunity. Except that we see benefits also for speed in the GSF. We think it's a program with an international potential, it's scalable and can be applied throughout the world in different places. It's an appropriate mission for the global student forum, and it's a growth engine for speed.
And here we have some of the steps to develop this project. First of all, we have to establish a management team within speed and contacting the global partners like Engineers Without Borders, United Nations, Seeds of Peace, etc.
Okay, the second stage is that we want to identify first the community that we want to help. Second one, the related NGOs that can help us. The engineering problem to solve in the community. Nearby those universities. For example, for a sponsor, we need to find a related industry that the activity is related with that issue.
Planning. It's important to attract the sponsors that we get the money that we need, and we also have to plan budgets. The idea is to recruit volunteers from the universities. Also, we have to make an agenda, like syllabus to follow to get to solve the problem. And of course, we have to study where the activity is going to take place, because we want a neutral place or some place that is secure for students.
Please, guys.
Execution of this plan. The plan seems right, but the most important part is the execution. We begin with the mutual workshops of all parties involved, like the two conflict parties. We will try to conduct the mutual workshops between the students, between the industry's experts and guides, studying and executing the project which we will, and the planning, and this is important, planning an alumni program, because after attending the program, we also need those students who participated in those programs, we also need them to stay in contact after the program itself.
Okay, so we're gonna, as we said, this program is applicable anywhere around the world. We're gonna make a study case on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a short movie.
Israelis and Palestinians have been locked in conflict for more than 50 years. Too many people have died. Too many lives have been shattered. Can the future be different from the past?
Okay, so we'll stop here.
And that's where your
Go
film
on.
comes in.
So I'm going to run through it really quickly. So the first step is, of course, establish the managing team within Speed. Then, for example, we chose an example of the Arab villages next to the Israeli neighborhood of Pisgat Ze'ev near Jerusalem. Both Israelis and Arabs need a water purifying system. There are two universities that are close enough, the Hebrew University and the Ramallah University. You have the Israeli industry company Mekorot, which is the national water company, and the United Nations are deeply involved in Palestinian activity. We assume that a budget of 200,000 United States dollars can provide the program's needs, at least from the students' points of view, not the project itself. And the rest is pretty obvious.
Okay.
Well, okay, you can see for yourself. We plan a week-long workshop in France, studying relevant subjects in each university, etc.
Okay, we'll try to do it in very short. The starting establishing system we'll try to do it in 3 months, and 2 months. The planning and the execution, as it says, it will be totally a 1-year thing. And the outcome of the project.
Okay, the outcome of the project is, what is the most important thing here? That the student, that movement today exchange is going to experiment change of mentality. So the idea is that this person will communicate and share his experience to her friends, and I don't know. This is the way that we are going to plant the seed of peace.
With the help of
Yeah.
word of mouth, like
It's an
one person.
expansion neighborhood. That's our idea.
And come to the last slide. It's
Like time?
And come to the last slide in which the feedbacks.
This is the okay. It's just
These are the feedbacks which we have.
Okay,
got.
anyway, we address some of them. I would like to feedbacks just in 7 minutes. I would like to just to address 3 of them. One of the main feedbacks was narrowing the scope, so we focused on the Israeli-Palestinian case. Start at the younger age. We want to partner with Seeds of Peace, and we actually already contacted them.
We really like this one. The last
And
one.
this one is the most interesting. We were told a few times that it's too idealistic and too ambitious, and we say, okay.
Okay. I think that it's definitely original. It's a very good project. It's very original. But when you look at it, it's like it is very ambitious. So we're talking about world peace. It's very ambitious, but it is an original idea. You talk about $200,000. Where does the money go? Why $200,000 and where does the money go?
This- Yeah, it's no. She asks what does they spend it for?
Oh,
right?
that's right.
So basically, $2,000 is the budget that we counted as the budget that should be sufficient to have this delegation in France and to have pay for their meals, pay for their flights.
Why the delegation to France?
Like we just
We
It's an example.
try to do that in
in the
different
neutral
locations.
Are you
area.
guys going to fly first class or something?
No.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well.
Maybe we had to remove a 10 from that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I don't really see this amount of money should not be used to build the project, but rather to sustain students and the needs of this study atmosphere in abroad or whatever the neutral location is.
Why do they have to go abroad?
Because one of the most important aspects is that we take them from their territories in which each side might feel.
But don't we have territories in conflict in Colombia? Where are the Colombians here?
Yeah, well,
but not that class. I don't know.
Not as much
Not that
big
type of
problem.
conflict.
There's also the idea that the neutral place can be inside the country, but away from the two conflict
Area,
Yes. So, as we said, the study case of the Israeli-Palestinian is just an example. This program, you can fit it in a local conflict, like between cultures, in
Yeah,
the same
ethnic-
country,
ethnic
in the same country, or you can do something more international. So this was just an example. We really don't think that we can at this
Okay, no, there
step
is
provide.
for example, tribes in Africa, but we don't have a lot of information. So
Yeah,
So I think you need to be clear that it would be a pilot.
yeah, of
Because
course.
you've got,
That's-
because by the looks of things, you've got you've got all the other organisations, you've got Seeds of Peace that have already gone through the experience that could help you out, that you could rely on.
Yeah.
So you've got sort of a structure in place
Yeah.
for that sort of activity, and it would be a pilot.
Actually, we wrote Seeds of Peace an email, but they didn't answer.
No, actually already replied. Actually already replied.
Okay, and I think, did I see somewhere you get money from the United Nations?
Yeah, well, we believe that the support should come from the United Nations.
Okay,
There are
they may
many-
support you, but I wouldn't expect any money from them at all.
Well, let me disagree.
Okay.
Let me respectfully disagree. The United Nations supports Palestinian activities with large amounts of money each year. They're actually a UN organization that is aimed towards helping Palestinians only. It's called UNRWA, UNRWA. So I respectfully disagree.
Okay, well, I think that you need to really have a look at the funding side a little more
Yeah.
and get that worked out. But and you also would have to think about, again, it's the same comment for the other group, when you're working on any engineering type of project, you've also got to look at the sorts of liabilities that you may have around there, so you need to be covered on that side somehow.
At the beginning, your show was a fight between two students, basically. And then we saw that the main goal was to communicate on what's going on, and it was more widespread. So the main goal of your project is to decrease barriers between students, or it's more
Decrease
ambitious, and we talk
hostilities.
about between two people.
I would like to answer that. The main goal lies in bringing the peace between two countries or two conflicting areas, but the means of bringing that is by starting it with just maybe around 30 students from this area, 30 students from there, and last slides which they explained, like one student, if I go back to the town and say that these guys are good, and I say to three guys, and they go on
promote the
multiplying, so
project.
that idea goes on spreading, that they are not the bad people, they are as normal as that, but our mindset is that they are something different. Maybe they, maybe everyone, every Palestinian, every Israelian is like that, the Palestinian. So the main aim lies, the main goal is like bringing the peace between the two communities by the means of students, like some
By the means of students. Okay, it's clear. How do you ensure that politicians will let you achieve the project?
Yeah, answer that. This is a big question. This is a big question. It was actually our main challenge after yesterday, and our strategic decision was that we will get involved only in places where we can be involved. I mean, if there are 10 gun barrels of tanks pointing one at each other, we won't go in the middle and try to bring peace between the two tanks drivers. But in places in which you can, you will do it. For example, if there are tensions, ethnical tensions within one country, the government would have no objection of you doing that. I mean,
We have
the other
example.
way.
I will have the example of Seeds of Peace. They
Yeah.
already do.
And the final aim is like we are doing a project which will help both the countries, and that will be our main point to tell them, to convince them maybe, because both, and we will identify a problem which will exist in both the countries, both the conflicting sides, and the outcome of the project is solution for that problem.
Like working with a company.
Yeah,
they are
We
working
have
with
an alliance, or we
industry
expect to
experts.
have an alliance with that.
That's our plan.
And it's possible, we see, because Seeds of Peace operates now around the world. It's a big organization. Apparently, we didn't know that, but we have already the platform set.
And just one more question, sorry. And how do you make it scalable then? How are you going to communicate it to get other, like, for example, we talked about was India and Pakistan, or maybe within India from different religions working. I mean, how do you get the scale out of it?
Okay,
Once you do a pilot.
in the short term, we think we must, we have to focus in only one region. But in the long term, maybe they can see the results in another region, or I don't know, maybe the
Form a network of students, maybe we form a group of students.
your boyfriend.
we form a group of students and contact the Seeds of, as Seeds of Peace already has formed network between all throughout the world. We can use that network and collaborate with them, partner with them to use that.
If possible, I would like to add something. We wrote specifically that it is a growth engine for speed. We believe that speed should be involved, and we believe that even here we should have a managing team within speed. So after you have the knowledge, you have the central hub, you can use it to apply this project in other places.
Is it enough to have two last questions?
How are you going to get support from contractors, material suppliers, and so forth to make it possible the project?
Pardon?
We will contact companies that work in that issue, and it will be benefit from that companies because they will be a social support, and they will work in the issue.
And also a project, after the project is being done, it's as if the company owns that project. If it's a new invention or something, the company will own, the industry experts from that company, they will own the project. And it's if the country, both the conflicting sides like it, they will purchase it from the country. So it's like win-win situation for the industries and also for the conflicting sides.
And that's the step that we've identified. We have to tailor fit the industry to the problem. If it's a water problem, we take a water industry company.
And we know that all the enterprises we invest in social responsibility, they receive an economic benefit with taxes, or I don't know. It's related with each country.
Have to make it attractive.
Great, so it's very interesting. I just have one question to understand how it can be more realistic. So you said about the first thing you'll be doing is like something like a workshop. So when you're inviting two different people who are already conflicting to a workshop, they need to give them a strong model to convince them saying that this is going to be beneficial. So what will actually happen in the workshop?
Well, as we said before, we're not going to invent the wheel entirely from the beginning. We already have a platform that goes by the name of Seeds of Peace, and we already have like agenda and curricula to get people to know each other. We already have the managing team from Speed that can have you make like different social activities to get to know each other and break these barriers. And students who are volunteering to this program are probably the students that have a more open perspective from the beginning.
Exactly. So that is my question. So we know about Speed, what we do because we have attended this program. So when you call two people to come together, they first have to have an idea that this is will be happening.
Oh, right. So we wrote it. We just kind of heard. We said that the first step is to spread the word through universities. You have to cooperate with university. You have to exactly. So in our example, it was the Jerusalem University and the Ramallah University. You go to the university. We even suggested that you would get academic credit for this activity. Some universities give academic credits for like social or volunteering activities, and it's way easier to get the word through the university to the students.
Just one last question, very simple. So what is your first step when you go out of this room to implement this program?
We're going to contact Seeds of Peace. We're going to contact their connections in the United Nations and probably Engineers Without Borders, and start having some meetings with them. And yeah, we are.
It's within Speed.
Yeah, we are within Speed, and so this will be the first step because we're not going to start it from scratch. We have to base expand something that exists.
Yeah. Thank you.